Walk into almost any professional kitchen in the world, and you'll notice something instantly recognizable. Amid the flames, the sizzling pans, and the fast-moving cooks, there's one detail that has survived centuries of culinary history: the chef's hat. Tall, white, and impossible to ignore, it has become one of the most iconic symbols in food culture. But have you ever stopped to wonder why chefs wear hats in the first place? Is it simply tradition, or does it actually serve a purpose? Let's find out right here on History of Food. The modern chef's hat, officially known as a toque blanche, has roots stretching back hundreds of years. Some historians trace its origins to ancient civilizations where cooks and bakers covered their heads for cleanliness and religious reasons. In parts of the ancient Middle East and Europe, kitchen workers often wore cloth head coverings to keep sweat and hair away from food. But the tall white hat we recognize today didn't truly emerge until French cuisine began shaping the standards of professional cooking. One of the most important figures connected to the chef's hat is the legendary French chef Marie-Antoine Carême, who lived during the late 18th and early 19th centuries. Often called one of the founders of haute cuisine, Carême revolutionized professional kitchens. He believed chefs should present themselves with discipline and elegance, almost like military officers or aristocrats. Under his influence, uniforms became more refined, and chefs began wearing taller hats to symbolize professionalism and authority. The higher the hat, the more senior the chef was believed to be. That height wasn't random either. According to culinary tradition, the number of folds in a chef's hat supposedly represented the number of ways a chef could cook an egg. Some stories claim a master chef's hat could contain 100 folds, symbolizing 100 egg preparations. Whether this was ever consistently practiced is debated by historians, but the idea became part of culinary folklore. And honestly, it's easy to see why the story survived. It perfectly matches the theatrical and detail-oriented world of fine dining. But beyond symbolism, chef hats serve very practical purposes. Kitchens are hot, intense environments. Between boiling water, roaring ovens, and open flames, temperatures can become exhausting. A chef's hat helps absorb sweat before it drips into food. Many traditional toques were designed with pleated fabric that allowed airflow while also trapping moisture. In older kitchens without modern ventilation systems, this was especially important. The hat acted almost like a cooling system for the head while maintaining cleanliness in the kitchen. And then there's the issue everyone immediately thinks about: hair. No customer wants to find hair in their meal. Covering the head reduces the risk of loose strands falling into food during preparation. Today, food safety regulations around the world still require kitchen staff to wear some kind of hair restraint. In modern restaurants, this might be a skull cap, hairnet, bandana, or baseball cap, instead of the classic towering toque. But the principle remains exactly the same. The chef's hat evolved into an early form of food safety equipment long before modern hygiene laws existed. Interestingly, the color white also matters. Traditional chef uniforms, including the hat, are usually white because white symbolizes cleanliness. In a busy kitchen filled with sauces, grease, smoke, and spills, white fabric stains easily. That means any dirt becomes immediately visible, forcing chefs to maintain high standards of hygiene. In a way, the white uniform acts like a public test of discipline. If a chef can keep a white uniform clean in a chaotic kitchen, it demonstrates professionalism and control. The chef's hat also became a symbol of hierarchy. Professional kitchens are often organized with military-like structure and ranks. Executive chefs oversee operations, sous chefs manage stations, and junior cooks handle preparation tasks. Historically, the tallest hats were reserved for the highest-ranking chefs. Even today, uniforms can indicate authority in the kitchen. The head chef often wears a different jacket, apron, or hat style from the rest of the team. It's not just about appearance. In a fast-paced environment where communication must happen instantly, visual hierarchy helps kitchens function efficiently. Over time, however, the classic tall toque became less common in everyday restaurants. Many modern kitchens prioritize practicality over tradition. Tall hats can be uncomfortable, especially in cramped spaces with low ceilings and fast movement. As culinary culture evolved, shorter hats and alternative head coverings became more popular. You'll now see chefs wearing fitted caps, beanies, scarves, or simple skull caps depending on the restaurant style. Yet despite these changes, the image of the towering white chef's hat remains deeply embedded in popular culture. In fact, the chef's hat became so iconic that it transformed into a universal symbol of cooking itself. Cartoons, restaurant logos, emojis, and cooking shows all use the tall white toque to instantly represent chefs and food. Even children playing pretend often wear paper chef hats during cooking activities. Few professions have a uniform piece so instantly recognizable worldwide. The chef's hat communicates expertise, creativity, and authority without a single word being spoken. So again, why do chefs wear hats? The answer is more layered than most people realize. The chef's hat is part hygiene tool, part status symbol, part historical tradition, and part cultural icon. It protects food, absorbs sweat, identifies authority, and connects modern kitchens to centuries of culinary history. What began as a practical covering evolved into one of the most recognizable uniforms on Earth. And perhaps that's why the chef's hat continues to survive even in a rapidly modernizing food industry. It represents more than cooking. It symbolizes craftsmanship, discipline, and the pride of transforming raw ingredients into something memorable. Beneath every towering toque or simple kitchen cap is the same idea that has existed for generations. Cooking is not just work. For many chefs, it's an art form. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below.